welcome to another episode of the Antisocial Chat Show. My name is Tara Tamiko and I am a digital marketing consultant and process queen, and I'm joined by my lovely host.
Hi, my name's Eleanor. I am Chief Copywriter and Undomestic Goddess at Creative Copywriting. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Eleanor. I thought you were saying you were godless.
Well, I am quite.
I'll join you. Hey, so it's been a while since we've had an episode. I'm really excited to have a chat with you today about what we're going to talk about.
Well, I'm really intrigued about something you're doing, actually, Tara, with your signature solutions.
Yay, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, because what I'll just explain briefly to our audience. Tara took me through my own signature solution, so now I have one, and I'd like you to explain to people exactly what that is, and then I can say how it helped me, because it really has helped me.
Yeah, oh, that's really good to hear. Well, yeah, I mean, you always hear the cheesy, like, oh, it changed my business, but to be honest, it did. And I'll give a little background. I've been in business for many, many years before the internet even existed. I have built up a wealth of knowledge, had the jobs, working in marketing, embraced digital marketing, love everything about it, about technology, about apps. And as you could probably tell, I like chatting, right? So it was hard for me to get all that knowledge into one kind of place where I could then just like deliver what I knew, so I could, help my clients. It's very different when you're in a job to running your own business. Mm-hmm. So when I discovered this process of developing a signature solution, it really does make sense. It's been done. It's something that most businesses do. But for me, having a very specific framework helped me to be able to deliver my information, my expertise, my knowledge to my clients. So basically, my signature solution is called the Digital Marketing Transformation Method. And basically, it consists of 3 stages, and each stage has 3 steps. There's the 3s and 3s going on. So it's a 9-step process. Well, it's probably a little bit more than that when you add everything up. But what it means is that when I'm speaking to people, speaking to clients, it's almost like a sales tool, because I'm showing them this is how you can get from here to there. So the signature solution, I think I finished mine probably around March, and I've been tweaking it a bit. And I remember speaking to you about, you've got to get one. But I have found that every time I have a call with a prospective client and I just show them the signature solution, they are kind of sold on what I have to offer. And I'm going to ask you, you must have noticed with your clients, what do you think the reason is as why they're like, oh yeah, sure, this makes sense?
Well, I think it gives me focus as well, because in copywriting, I'm sure it's the same with your clients as well, Tara, each person is different and needs a different part of my solution. So some people will need straight from the beginning, step 1 to step 9 or what have you. And some people they could be at step 3 or step 4. I can show them where they are in my process.
Right.
For a copywriter, it's a case of really digging deep. So some people might already have their ideal client avatar and know what their brand messaging is, but they don't know how to deliver it. So that's another stage of my process. Or they don't know what persuasive language, or they don't know what story they've got to tell, or they might be right at the beginning of their journey and have no copy at all. Don't even know who they are. They don't know their why. They don't know their USP. So I can take them right through it. So it positions me as more than just a copywriter. And I've never said I am just a copywriter. I've always said I'm a business enabler first. I'm someone who helps businesses. Copywriting is just part of it. So that helps me really explain that to people.
Cool. And so what are their reaction when they see that?
It depends. I mean, people who are new to business, it's probably at first a bit wow, but it definitely makes it enables me to show what value I can provide better. Because the trouble is with copywriting, everybody just thinks you're a pen for hire, and everybody says the same old thing. Oh, I can write copy that sells. Actually, that's not the full picture, is it? You know what I mean? You don't just, here, I've written something and that's going to make you $100 million. Don't be so ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's a process, and it's got to fit in with every single other bit of somebody's business.
Right. And this is what I like about the signature solution, and having one, because you can make everything fit. And as you said, it's very similar with me. The first step in my signature solution is branding. And most businesses have that. Well, not all, you'll be surprised, but excuse me, most businesses have some form of branding. But I have found that in order to do the next step, which is discover, so we're getting into the market research, because I can tell you now, not a lot of businesses have that. It's the part that they glaze over. It then makes you take a look back at the first step, because maybe they haven't got it, completely kind of nailed down. Maybe their USP needs, I'm ever so sorry, did I not prepare? Oops. Their USP hasn't completely been nailed down, or maybe their business has changed over the years. So that's another thing, not exactly how you had it like 5 years ago is how it's going to be now. But I tell you what, it's kind of like, for me, if I'm speaking to someone and I realize we're not understanding each other, and I'm not even just speaking about prospective clients, just in general, I'm speaking to other digital marketers, or when I need help with something, I use Upwork, and I know you use Upwork as well, right? When I go on Upwork, I need to get my point across as to what I need help with. And I just literally whip out my digital marketing transformation method, and I get less questions afterwards, because they're like, okay, all right, okay, I understand that. And that I find that super helpful. Gets rid of tie kickers as well.
I think it helps me focus on what I'm delivering, and I love a bit like what you said. That's all my experience in one method, so it's everything that I can possibly offer, and I can take little parts of it and mix it up, and I love that. It really helps me focus on what I am actually delivering. It makes me feel, makes me realise, actually, sometimes you get, I don't know, you feel a bit down about yourself, and I don't know, there's a term for it, isn't there? I can't remember. It's not.
Demotivated?
Yeah, probably. And so, it's an imposter syndrome. I don't get that. Okay. I don't get that, actually.
No, because
but I sometimes feel a bit, and then you look back and think, oh my God, look at all this stuff I've done, and look what I can offer. So it's a good thing to focus on, so that to remotivate you at times.
Right. Yes. Now I should actually explain, because I didn't just come up with this all by myself. I actually took a program called the Fletcher Method, which is a bit of a giveaway, right? Because it's a methodology. And what I found interesting about the program were these frameworks that help you build, not just a signature solution, because I also have the digital marketing transformation roadmap, and lots of other things. But I was so impressed with the whole kind of like program and the methodology that I signed up with them to become a certified business performance coach, so that I can walk my clients through the same kind of steps and process. And then the interesting thing is that within that program, there is something called the Content Crusher.
I know about the Content Crusher. I love it.
But you know what's interesting? The Content Crusher is, there's really no excuse for me not to be providing content, okay? But I have to say, I have been going through your LinkedIn course, and I see that you have in there the repurposing. What is it called? The
repurpose schedule. So it helps you repurpose your content. So if you put it on one social media platform, you can put it on all the others in different formats. Right.
Well, I just want you to imagine the Content Crusher and your repurpose tool together. It's just so easy.
Yeah, really powerful.
And I should probably explain, the Content Crusher is a very specific way of taking information from your signature solution, so that you can come up with a blog post, a podcast, a talk, or anything like on the fly, because there are certain steps that you go through. And I know for a lot of creative people might be thinking, oh, that's just so logical, I just want to be free flowing and so forth. Well, that's fine, but I always say to my clients, imagine that you're at the office and someone's just called and said, right, you've got to jump in a taxi, come to the conference, and you've got to deliver a talk on, your topic in, for 30 minutes or so. Of course, if you know your area of business, you can do that. But isn't that kind of like a last minute panic? And you think, oh, which piece of which presentation should I use?
Yeah.
Literally pick up this content crusher and you can go through the steps, and then you have the, the content there, right?
Yeah.
So I find that to be kind of super invaluable, and using along with your repurpose tool. There's just really, no reason why you can't come up with content.
Yeah, no, I think what I like about the solution and the crusher is the fact that it all comes back to you. So, I think sometimes we can, I know I've done it, write content that isn't actually directly related to what you're doing. So you can go off on the tangent, why did I write that? I'm not actually attracting the clients or not attracting my tribe, so to speak, who should be with me, because I've wrote a bit of content that isn't directly related. So that helps you, really focus on that. So I go through my 9 stages, and each stage is broken down to another 3, and then they're broken down. So it's anything I do is related in some way back to my
it's
solution.
all about the context. It's all about and that's pretty much what you should be doing. Every time you go to write something, you should immediately know which step or stage it is in your signature solution, and that's what keeps you on track. And I know that I have actually written a few pieces that have nothing to do with my signature solution, and I just think, oh, how do I use that? Where am I going to? And it's not saying that I can't, because you can set up your own strategy, but actually it's much better for people to see what it is that you can do, what you can offer them, rather than just suddenly speaking about, I don't know, the cats. I was like, unless you're using the cats as a metaphor, an analogy, or something like that, then that's not too bad. And I will say, as you mentioned you spoke about the different steps and stages. I remember in the group of the Fletcher method, I asked the question, has anybody done a signature solution for each of the steps? Thinking I was just being clever, right? And somebody actually had. So there are 9 steps, and then for each step they had a signature solution for that.
Great.
Mind-boggling.
Yeah, pretty mind-boggling.
But I bet he was super clear and focused on his business. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's helping me a lot, and it's helping me with my clients, and I can speed through a lot quicker.
It brings me on to some news today that's pretty relevant. Is Instagram TV that's just launched.
Right, yes.
And everybody's running on about it. And I listened to Amanda Webb's Digital Coffee this morning, and there's a chap on there talking about it. So immediately last night, because I want to be, I had a look, and I just the only video I had on my phone was of my dog, obviously. So I just posted that. But now I'm thinking Instagram TV. Could it be, could it really take off? And I'll definitely be thinking about my signature solution and what content I will directly draw bits from my signature solution to put on that, because my Instagram game, I don't actually have one. I still use Instagram in the way it was first, I just like looking at pictures, and I like to take pictures of nature or of my dog or what have you. That's what I like. So I'm like, great, I can leave my Instagram account like that because I like it, but my Instagram TV can be more focused on my copy. So I'm quite looking forward to that.
You're looking forward to that. So stories, Instagram stories.
I never got on with them. No, I don't know why, because as you know, I was quite, we met on Snapchat, didn't we?
Snapchat, yeah, I thought that would have been
quite
up your alley.
Yeah, and so I thought it would be right up my alley as well, but I've never got on with it. I preferred Snapchat over Instagram stories, although I'm no longer on Snapchat. But I'm thinking, could Instagram TV be my Snapchat?
Oh, okay. But is it live? Is it is it live, or because you mentioned that you uploaded the video?
So I think you have to upload a video, but it's up to 10 minutes, but it will be up to an hour. So it's like a proper TV show. So I don't know I've been playing with my phone today, trying to figure it out and watching other people's shows, and I'm thinking, Something about it that appeals to me much more than stories. I don't even look at people's stories.
Right. So how is Instagram TV different to YouTube?
Well, I guess it's because I don't know how you use YouTube, but I use YouTube for how-to videos. So if I get stuck, I don't use YouTube to like watch things. It's almost, how do I do this? That's the way I'm not really a YouTuber. So I guess you can't, there's no search function in that sense.
There's no search function on Instagram TV?
No, there is a search function, but I don't think, you search, I guess you search by hashtag and things. I guess the search function is different. I don't know, I'm not an expert, but hopefully by our next show, maybe I can give some more updates, because I want to have a go at this. I want to play around.
I'm going to have a go as well. I find what I already am thinking with Instagram TV is it's a lot quicker to produce the video, because with YouTube, it's a bit of a hoo-la-la, isn't it? Because you have to upload the video, you have to put the tags in, and you have to, just seems to be a whole production. And, having something that's a little bit quicker, I think Instagram TV.
I mean, I don't know how it's going to all pan out, and, I don't know all the ins and outs, but I don't know, this is something that appealed to me.
Well, if you like it, I might give it a try.
Yeah, go on there.
Go and give it a try, and then I'll be like, no, I don't like it. So what was the other thing? There was something else as well.
Yes, I heard today, again, on Amanda Webb's very good digital coffee show, about Facebook groups now being allowing subscriptions paid. So as we know, people used to do it, but not officially, because Facebook didn't allow in the terms and conditions. But I believe now they're going to allow paid Facebook groups that you can subscribe to.
Okay, so does that mean, so for example, if I have a course and I want people to join my Facebook group, I have to pay Facebook, or they pay Facebook?
No, the members can pay to join. So at the moment, you can allow people get around it, don't they? But now you can it'll actually be on Facebook, and you press and you pay.
Of course, because they brought out the payment in Messenger. So you can accept payments. Anybody who's using like chat bots, they can accept payments through that or through Messenger. So it kind of makes sense that they would be monetizing.
And also they know lots of people charge, there's lots of paid groups out there.
Interesting.
But I guess the downside, as Amanda said in her thing today, is then they're not on your platform. So if you have a membership site on your own website, those people are yours. But if they're actually in a group, if Facebook can shut down your group, we know Facebook, they're quite good at changing things, aren't they?
Of course.
Out, or make it more expensive, or close down Facebook, what have you. Anything could happen. So that's the downside.
But do you know, I remember somebody saying, seeing it this week, saying, oh, you should never build your business on Facebook because look what happened to me. And I always think, well, of course you shouldn't. We all know that, but it's nice to take advantage if it's easier, right? The convenience. So some people use Thinkific, I think, and Teachable and all those different ones. But some people just don't have time to figure all of that out. So it's a great advantage to try it out. And if you see it's not working, then you can switch, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's rolling out at the moment, so I don't know how it'll pan out. But again, another two really interesting things happened today. Both I'm quite excited about, actually, because I can see
you bring in the news. I'm going to have to up my game. And I have a question for you regarding Facebook groups. Then the paid ones. Would you consider having? I'm going to ask you this. Would you consider having a paid group?
After my recent
about it, you said.
After my recent experience, and that was I would consider it again, but it would be in a completely different approach to my last group, definitely.
Yes, I know, and I know you've written extensively about your experience with Facebook groups.
And I probably would hook up with a couple of other copywriters as well, who I know. Who I'd like to do it with. So, I have been thinking, I have got plans. I'm big on collaboration.
Yeah.
So.
Good, great. I've never had a Facebook group. I have zero intention of having one. And you watch in 6 months, I'll be like, hey, join my Facebook group.
Yeah, wow, it's social media for you, isn't it? You adapt, and that's all part of it. So yeah, never say never, because when you say never, it usually happens. Or
right. Embrace it.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so do we have anything else happening in the world of copywriting? And
no.
You're bringing the goods today, so I'm just going to extract as much. Okay, brilliant. So that's it then for this week. Thank you everyone for watching, and for those of you who are listening through our SoundCloud, thank you for joining us. And if you have any questions or comments, you can just let us know. That's bye from me.
Love, peace and great copy from me.
Bye.
Bye.